unintentionally shame themselves more. It's likely that you've interacted with a narcissist at some point in your life, whether it was a jealous coworker, an angry boss, a mother bragging about her daughter's recent success, or a seductive online date who suddenly disappeared without a word. Feelings of insecurity, use, unworthiness, rejection, stupidity, or debasement are common results of interacting with narcissists. It is believed that vulnerable narcissists engage in grandiose behaviour in order to hide their own feelings of insecurity. It's possible they struggle with low self-esteem, extreme sensitivity to criticism and rejection, and worries about their connections with others and their social standing. Welcome, everyone. I hope you can permit me to extend a warm welcome and greetings to everyone present. What follows is a discussion of a poor habit shared by narcissists and an argument for why it is essential to kick this tendency. More importantly, this is the fundamental way in which narcissists, and especially covert narcissists, cause their own sickness. Therefore, the more we condone and justify their behaviour, the more it makes us sick, and the more their way of life has negative effects on them as well. Their biggest weakness is an inability to deal with challenges and disagreements, and so they learn to repress a whole spectrum of unpleasant emotions. This is a common outcome for the children of narcissistic parents. Any time there's a fight at home, regardless of whether or not the kid is involved, narcissistic parents would instead act as if nothing unfavourable ever occurred. Because they don't want to appear to be bad parents, they aren't willing to seek professional help for their child or talk to the child about how it has affected them. Parents can prevent their children from understanding emotional harm by acting as though everything is okay all the time. In reality, this isn't healthy. It's like your parents said, "Don't be hard on yourself. Instead, pick yourself up, give yourself a big grin, and go back out into the world." Mental and physical health can be negatively impacted when negative emotions are repressed and unpleasant issues are avoided. Narcissists are the root of the problem since they are the ones who commit these acts, both against themselves and against those who are close to them or in their care. Why? This is because they care solely about spreading the falsehood of their phony identity, which protects them from shame and criticism for the time being, but can lead to their demise in the long run. In contrast, the covert narcissist desperately needs to be seen as the altruistic saint who puts everyone else's needs before their own. However, things get sticky when more evidence suggests they are not who they claim to be. When you realize their charming exterior is a facade, and they're actually quite unpleasant. After you learn how much resentment and animosity they've been harboring inside of them all this time. It's a mystery how they've been able to survive for so long. On the other hand, this is where we come in. Research has shown that merely having someone to share one's troubles with has a positive effect on one's health and longevity. Once the covert narcissist has found someone to abuse and dominates within their safe space, the covert narcissist has a far better chance of surviving to a ripe old age. Try to picture an elderly covert narcissist who is only kept alive by the suffering of others. Overt narcissists and other publicly toxic persons tend to have a much higher probability of surviving than their covert counterparts, since they are more upfront with their toxic features. While the covert narcissist would prefer to pretend to care about others, they really just care about themselves. The relentless assault of criticism has taken its toll. Their doom lies in this pessimism. This is a common strategy employed by covert narcissists to elicit our sympathy for their plight. They would have us believe a lie, but let's make it no more. Why should we pretend they are something they are clearly not? It's incredible how they manage to keep us in the dark about their true natures all along. Because we don't know what to do, We don't speak up while they keep love-bombing and devaluing us in an endless cycle. As a rule, we try to keep our bad emotions to ourselves. We've been putting off dealing with our relationships issues for far too long. Everything appears to be normal to the outside observer, but every time we do that, a little bit of who we are dies. Moreover, the longer we maintain this way of life, the less we will ever be able to recognize it in reflection. It's unhealthy to be in close proximity to a narcissist because you stop prioritizing your own happiness and start catering to the narcissist instead. If we give in to the narcissist's demands, our health will suffer. A narcissist's greatest strength is in exploiting our vulnerabilities. In our pain and suffering, a narcissist may find the strength to press on. Without us, they have nobody to exploit and use for their own selfish ends. They need us to be broken and miserable, so they may feel better about themselves. They are able to release some of the destructive emotions they've been holding in, which is essential in keeping them alive. It must be terrible for covert narcissists to have to deal with the constant hostility and strain of defending their false image while detesting everyone around them. Putting on a sham and pretending to be someone you're not must be exhausting. This is why I think they bring it on themselves. Every narcissist as simply by virtue of being a narcissist, and why they are the ones who cause it. And we must not succumb to our own bitterness. For the simple reason that bitterness can give rise to resentment, and this can happen even if the victim has long since been physically separated from the narcissist, but still harbours vivid recollections of the pain and betrayal inflicted by the narcissist. Our hatred and resentment must be put aside. Let go if you want to heal and go on. The narcissist will still adore us, even though we are permanently damaged by their abuse. The world will treat us as we treat it if we carry about bitterness and animosity. Not because we feel a need to empathise with their plight, but rather because doing so would only make our own problems more intractable. Our mental, physical, and spiritual health are all being eroded by it. So we need to protect ourselves from narcissists and the negative emotions that can develop as a result of interacting with one. We will have finally won our revenge when we can once again look forward to a bright and hopeful future. Don't dwell in gloom. Instead, show the narcissist that the flame they put out is not just coming back, but stronger than ever. Feel free to express your distress. Don't pretend to be joyful if you don't actually feel that way. Do not pretend to be something you are not. Recognize and deal with the discomfort you're experiencing. You shouldn't avoid the truth just because you fear it may hurt. Keep being yourself, and you'll start to trust and love yourself again. Learning to persevere through suffering is a skill that may be applied to many areas of life. We will not be deterred by narcissists or anyone else. A lot of appreciation for your patience. Please accept my sincere wishes that you have found this to be enlightening. Feel free to leave your comments and questions on this topic below. It is with great anticipation that we await to read them. It would be really appreciated if you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our future uploads. We appreciate you watching this. Thanks. This is the one thing that keeps narcissists in turmoil and can't stop at what they do. Greetings to everyone. Narcissists have an idealized image of themselves in their heads and a strong sense that they'd fall short of that ideal. Thus, they feel pressured to present a particular image of themselves, and because they act inappropriately in order to do so, they continue to be socially rejected. The narcissist's primary motivation, in almost all circumstances, is self-enhancement. But we can't take these actions at face value, especially if the person engaging in them is blustering and making grand claims. It doesn't imply that they have a healthy self-image, and there's clearly something missing from their existence. Vulnerable narcissists may, in fact, harbour feelings of self-loathing. In a word, it's awful and heartbreaking. They worry that they will never measure up. Making $1 billion won't solve the underlying mental health problem. It's true. There are 3 things a narcissist can bank on no matter how much planning, lying or manipulating they put into their lives. Because they create so many of their own difficulties, narcissists experience deep and enduring depression throughout their life. A narcissist is someone who is truly tortured, terrified, and miserable, is hiding behind a facade of fake smiles, self-assurance, and material wealth. Despite having access to everything that life has to offer, they still can't seem to calm their nerves. Nobody, no matter how ideal they seemed at the time, turns out to be the one who truly makes a difference in the narcissist's life. The problem-causing drive of a narcissist is their obsession with gaining and maintaining power, which overshadows any desire for repentance. Therefore, narcissists are, for lack of a better word, damned. The simplest way to put it is that they've gone down a road where turning around would be a huge hassle. As a result, narcissists could have some things they can rely on throughout their lives. Understanding this will help you to see why your success poses a danger to theirs. Understanding their goals can help you begin to appreciate how they manage their company. Your understanding of why they are condemned to eternal unhappiness and why they are not someone you should fear or envy will be greatly enhanced after you learn that they are their own worst enemy. Also, I showed you in this video how to do it. Bad fortune seems to follow narcissists around like a curse. This is something they always take with them when they go out. Since it's always there, they can't stand being alone for fear of facing their issue head-on. It would appear that narcissism is a punishable personality trait, and narcissists have to deal with the fact that they are always trying to better themselves. No matter what they acquire or accomplish, they will always feel unfulfilled. The truth is that nothing ever truly satisfies them. Despite this, they continue to internalize a sense of worthlessness and insignificance. A sense that there is always more to get and accomplish persists for them. The narcissist doesn't appear to be able to see that material wealth and praise aren't enough to satisfy the emptiness inside their own soul. Envy's green eye guarantees they'll never be happy with what they have, condemning them to a life of endless comparison and want. You can never find contentment if you're always evaluating yourself in relation to others. Narcissists are also never willing to admit they are wrong. Nobody in their lives brings them joy, not even themselves. Narcissists, on the other hand, are known to abuse their victims to the point that they eventually push them away, not even once they can figure out what's best for themselves, which means they keep heaping on more. Extra people and stuff are both essential. They are further damned by being doomed to a life of constant fear. They may have their hypocrisy exposed at any time, or someone could stand up to them and make them pay for their lies. Because of this, narcissists are preoccupied with how others perceive them at all times. They lack tranquility because they worry constantly and never learn to let go. The narcissist is convinced that everyone else views them as a means to an end and that they deserve the same treatment they've been getting all along. They fear being used or exposed. The narcissist I know frequently utter sentiments of inadequacy and jealousy under jokes. Sometimes she would insult others with her humour. One type of narcissist uses humour to disarm others, gain narcissistic supply, and mask their own inadequacies. In this video, I discussed how narcissists could make use of comedy, but make no mistake, this is no laughing matter. Fear may be crippling for anyone, but for a narcissist, it is especially crippling because of their preoccupation with themselves. That the truth would be revealed to the public is their greatest fear. which would lead to the humiliation they've been trying so hard to avoid. Quite simply, first impressions are often deceiving. They keep covering up who they really are in the hopes that no one will find out. A narcissist's defensive, insecure, manipulative, and paranoid actions stem from an overwhelming sense of fear. Finally, narcissists are doomed to perpetual disappointment since their expectations are always too high. They have lofty standards for their closest companions. They were arrogant and thought they were better than everyone else. For them, it's an endless cycle of disappointment because they'll never be able to dominate and hurt everyone the way they imagine they will. Although they may feel they deserve it, they will not be successful in getting what they want. Narcissists have an inflated sense of entitlement, which renders them subject to frequent bouts of wrath and melancholy when their expectations aren't satisfied. They act like selfish toddlers who hurl their toys when they don't get their way. Narcissists are always disappointed because they refuse to embrace reality and recognize they have no control over the actions of others or the outcomes of the situations in which they find themselves. Their need to micromanage everything is ultimately what will bring them down. Therefore, the narcissist's existence is, to put it mildly, not a very happy one. Since this is the case, narcissists grow agitated when they observe others taking pleasure in life. It's because they're destined for a lifetime of misery, disillusionment, and horror. Although it is widely believed that narcissists can be rehabilitated, the reality is that if they refuse treatment, then it will not be provided. The narcissist must make a decision to heal themselves. It is not up to us to decide whether or not they will change their ways. Narcissists, on the other hand, would rather maintain their facade, prefer acting to be genuine. In order to blend in, they would rather put up a show of seeming to be happy, enthusiastic, and in love, because they create their own misery in the world, and then take it out on others. These people are tremendous liars. Because of their incessant focus on themselves, they are unable to show genuine emotion for others. Dissatisfied with life in general, they are quick to anger and find the smallest things to be a source of frustration. Humans are nothing more than puppets in their game of power and dominion. People today are so emotionally cold that they have to lie to each other in order to have happy romantic relationships. Disappointment, dread, and unhappiness are the only constants in their life. And all they want is for everyone else to go through what they are. Remember that even though a narcissist appears happy on the surface, when in fact things are not, as they say, you will be led to believe that they are. You should never, ever envy a narcissist because of this. As always, I hope you found this to be enlightening. Please give it a thumbs up and spread the word if you liked it. It's been a pleasure having you here today. It would be really appreciated if you subscribed to our channel and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Thank you very much. The deal if a narcissist keeps lying about you even though they say they love you. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and hello. Today I want to discuss how narcissists have zero empathy for other people. Here's the deal if a narcissist attacks you, slanders you, humiliates you, even when they say they love you. A narcissist will care about you, but only because they need you for their own needs and pleasure. Narcissists consider others to be just extensions of themselves and treat them as such. A narcissist will not pursue a romantic relationship with you since they don't value you. Although the narcissist may believe that you are crucial to their goal, they actually believe that anyone is capable of carrying out their demands. The narcissist cares only about what they can get out of the relationship and how they'll feel about themselves. Neither person in a toxic relationship benefits from having the other there. Basically, nothing at all. For what it's worth, I think such knowledge could help you better comprehend narcissists' goals and recognize their attempts to deceive you through action or words. Even if you think them extremely attractive, they are certainly attempting to influence you into believing something to their benefit. First and foremost, narcissists have internal conflicts because they both hate and need other people. Listen carefully, because I intend to spend a lot of time on this subject in the video. If a narcissist is to succeed in life, they need these 3 traits above all others. Narcissists' wants are predictable due to their egocentric and superficial personalities. Their behaviour and attitude expose their fundamental selfishness and hollowness. A narcissist is too concerned with how others perceive them. Narcissists are excessively self-conscious about their outward appearance, putting a premium on things like dress and demeanour. To a narcissist, their self-worth is directly proportional to how others see them. An antisocial person, on the other hand, might just get up and walk to the local convenience shop. This is because sociopaths care very little about how they come across to the general public. They are lazy people who work hard only when it is in their best interest. On the other hand, narcissists, especially when they were young and successful, were fixated on their own physical beauty and the amassing of wealth. People who are covert narcissists are skilled manipulators whose public persona may be substantially different from their true nature. By the time they left, they had concluded that the whole thing had been an act. The mood of the day must be preserved at all costs. Narcissists invest a great deal of energy and resources into enhancing their physical attractiveness and shaping others' positive opinions of them. Their main priority is boosting their own egos and social standing. Only their spouses and kids have a true understanding of who they are as people. This is why a narcissist's deepest fear is for their loved ones to see through their pretense. Only the funny identities of the hero or victim keep them going, and they're scared of being exposed as dreadful monsters if they can't keep up the facades forever. Because they are constantly seeking praise from others, narcissists can't stay in one place for very long. Without the approval of others, their inflated egos and feeling of self-worth would collapse. Second, to maintain their fabricated persona, they need a narcissistic supply, an unquenchable need for further validation of their own inflated feeling of self-importance. They require constant admiration and attention to their accomplishments in order to feel fulfilled. It is crucial for people to realize how much respect and admiration they have for their supporters. They inflate their already massive egos by hurting and betraying the people they claim to love, and they need the supply of dark narcissism to keep them going. Narcissists need to feel fulfilled in this way since it's essential to their health. Therefore, they must deceive prospective partners into thinking they are looking for a serious commitment when, in fact, they are only looking for someone to hang out with. The narcissist places high importance on this matter and will go to any length to satisfy their own narcissistic supply requirements. Because they see others as obstacles to be overcome rather than gifts to be treasured, narcissists lack the emotional capacity for empathy and true caring for the well-being of those around them. They will be content as long as we satisfy their narrow interests. Someone with that kind of an air about them is instantly imposing. Narcissists are precociously skilled manipulators. Unless they find at least one person who supports them and loves them for who they are, they will never learn to enjoy life for what it is. What happened just reinforces the fact that they need to look elsewhere for supplies. One object of their adoration is never enough for them. Just one victim will never be enough for those who abuse and exploit others. Like any other predator, narcissists are always on the lookout for easy prey. There is never a happy moment in their lives since they are always unhappy. It's imperative that they have access to a backup supply in case the present one runs out. They will keep you around until they find someone else, even if they grow tired of you, stop finding value in you, and push you to the side. They view you as property and have every right to keep you around until you can once again serve a use for them. Narcissists, it's safe to suppose, need a never-ending supply of ego stroking. Material success and social standing also factor heavily in the evaluation process for a narcissist. To distract themselves from their terrible lives and find some happiness, they use their riches to cultivate their phony persona and accumulate more material items. They insist on believing that material wealth is the key to happiness. So they put in the time and effort and enlist the aid of others when necessary to accomplish their objectives. With greater money at their disposal, they knew they could control more people. They could maintain in touch with some people because of their financial comfort. As is the case with people like them in every other aspect of life, narcissists can never seem to be satisfied with their material goods. Narcissists get a kick out of being able to use their wealth and influence to intimidate and manipulate individuals who don't share their worldview. In the minds of narcissists, anything is possible if they are only given the time and resources to do it. Because of their inflated sense of self-importance, they demand front-row seats at all times. The ultimate goal of a narcissist is to become wealthy and powerful enough to dominate their immediate environment. Narcissists are emotionally insecure and constantly seek validation or distraction from others. To the extent that their narcissistic needs are satisfied, narcissists will continue to exist. They can use their resources to further cement their position of superiority, protect their image, and open up new avenues for them to indulge their own egotistical desires. Narcissists, as you well know, are completely self-absorbed and willing to sacrifice others for the sake of their own petty goals. I really hope this video proves helpful for you. I really appreciate you taking the time to read this and think about it. We welcome your feedback on this issue at any time, so please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks. When the narcissist has no one to depend on, this is what happens. Please allow me to say hello, and I appreciate your presence here. I appreciate all of you who have stuck with me for this long, so let's get to the point. To illustrate, I'd want to talk about what happens in the mind of narcissists when they're alone. Neither of them is monogamous, and neither of them has any living children or grandchildren from a previous relationship. Consequently, they may have many acquaintances but no actual friends. In addition, in my observation, covert narcissists tend to hide their genuine nature when they are with their immediate family members. Their husbands and children are the only recipients of their complete generosity. The main reason is that they worry about being disowned by family and friends at home if they expose their true colours. They realize that those who are close to them may discover how bad the narcissist really is. Narcissists tend to bottle up a lot of negative emotions, and if they don't get them out at least periodically, they could explode. Therefore, they need an easy target to channel their resentment and anger. A grandiose narcissist can be just as toxic in close relationships as they are in the outside world. A covert narcissist, however, is limited in both the time and people to whom they can express their hatred and hostility. Aside from that, they mask everything with a beautiful facade. As a result, they go to great lengths to convince their prey to enter into a monogamous relationship, preferably marriage. They need someone they can be cold and brutal in private or in their safe area without fear of repercussions. The problem arises when they don't have anybody to take their aggression out on right away, and we have to wonder how they cope. It's difficult to tell where you stand with covert narcissists, since they put on a pleasant facade for everyone else's sake. Due to the importance the covert narcissist places on their own image and reputation. All they want is to be depicted as the hero, or if not, the act as the victim, never as the villain or the instigator. They put on a happy face even if they're miserable. The covert narcissist is in a tough spot when they are fully alone. They don't have somebody they can rely on or a reliable connection to in times of need. Since they have nothing else to liven up their days, they create drama wherever they can, be it at work, in their church, or among friends and family. Since covert narcissist is more likely to act serious and reserved when they are alone, this is especially true when they are around individuals who make them uncomfortable or who have offended them. When asked how they are doing, they will often complain of feeling tired or ill. Narcissists can put on an act of calm or even distance themselves from others, but this is really a mask for their inner turmoil and their desire to bring pain to others around them. Furthermore, the covert narcissist, who is unable to fully unleash the beast inside them, begins to project a pessimistic attitude. Those sensitive to their presence will note a deepening of the night. As their mask begins to slip, covert narcissists must divert attention away from themselves. They cause issues because they always attribute blame to external factors. This usually occurs to the person who has angered or unnerved the narcissist. For this reason, they begin plotting ways to either neutralize the threat or turn the local populace against them. When they're around this individual they absolutely despise, they become mute at the most inopportune moments. Having feelings for this person will surely prevent you from functioning normally. If a narcissist fails to win over the other person's trust on his or her own, he or she may resort to using a proxy, usually a close friend, lover, or family member. Since narcissists rarely show open anger against others, it is impossible to know what drives them. But the narcissist sees all of their connections as strategic, and they will use others against you if they can. Narcissists are typically self-destructive. To further their personal vendetta, some people will try to keep you from communicating with your loved ones. The most cunning thieves are narcissists who steal your loved ones right out from under your nose, with the intent to cause you harm and alienate you from others. The trouble the covert narcissist generates outside of their comfort zone is much greater than the trouble they cause inside of it. When they have someone they can trust in their own area, they are better able to handle the challenges of social engagement. They can take the teasing in stride, since they have plans to exact revenge on their loved ones. The narcissist will never forgive those who have harmed them, and will wait patiently for the right moment to exact their vengeance. The covert narcissist is an astute and devious person. Those individuals are working hard to cultivate an impeccable reputation in the hopes that others will find them endearing and adore them. Who, exactly, are the folks who deceive their partners into thinking everything is all right when it obviously isn't? The narcissist's created persona is usually well-liked and respected even by those who don't know the narcissist personally. Covert narcissists, however, employ the same love-bombing tactics as their more obvious counterparts. Even if they never raise their voice or a finger to you, they will still try to manipulate you with lies and put you down. It may be out of sight, but its success is assuredly growing in the shadows. Even when they're by themselves, their negative emotions leak out into the world and affect the people they interact with. This means that even if we decide to practice no contact with a narcissist, we need still keep a safe distance from them. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please click the like button if you found this interesting. And please don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experiences by leaving your comments below. I value your